So this video is on energy vampires and basically fake friends again, right? And the thing is, you got to understand that if you have no friends, that is a perfect opportunity for you because most people are energy vampires. What do I mean by that? Basically, when you have friends, you're always searching for validation. That's number one. Number two, you realize that you might be cool with them, but you realize over time you start seeing what type of problems and issues that they bring to you. And you start realizing how much it drains your energy. Like for example, if you have a friend that always wants you to come out, that's something that's gonna drain your energy. Always want you to come outside and go to the club, stuff like that. Friends who constantly try to uh, use you as kind of like a therapist person, not a therapist, as a patient, where they're always trying to, be your therapist, but you didn't ask. Those people will drain your energy. People who are always telling you you're doing something wrong will drain your energy. And you'll hear a lot of different phrases for having a friend, right? Like you'll hear people say, a real friend will tell you your problems. But realistically, it's like who wants to have a friend who's telling you your problems all the time? That's not friendship, in my personal opinion. Friendship is supposed to be you enjoy them. They're like family, but they not related to you, like not by blood, but they still your family, and you still love them and care for them. You know what I'm saying? That's what a friend is, in my opinion. A friend, for example, I'll give an example. I had this one homie back when I was in high school. He was a freshman. I was a sophomore. He was the perfect definition of a friend. He was always cool. We was always vibing. We were always having a good time hanging out with each other. Every conversation was a good conversation. Literally every time I talked to this man, like no homo, I was in a good mood, bro. Because like we would talk about deep shit all the time. We would talk about women, we would talk about music, we would just talk about life in general. And this dude knows how to talk. Like he knew how to talk so good. I was like, God damn, bro. Like who taught you how to talk? Like he talked like a 40-year-old man when he was 14, bro. Like, bro was just like the chillest, coolest dude. Like, that was my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that nigga got him a wife now, you know what I'm saying? Got him a crib, got him a car, got him a real nice job. Like, I'm really proud of this man, right? We would talk on the phone sometimes. We'd be talking on the phone for like 6 hours. It would feel like we only been talking for about 20, 30 minutes, bro. That is what I consider a good friend is y'all. And this was literally like 5 years after I got out of high school. No, it was like 3 years. I was like a junior in college, but I talked to him again, and we basically just hit it off like we had not stopped talking as friends. You know what I'm saying? So it felt like we what is the word I'm looking for? It was like we never dropped off. It was like we literally kept being friends. It was almost like we never stopped talking or whatever. That's how cool it was. Cause literally, I talked to him again. We talked for like 6 hours. It was some chill ass shit. Um, that is what I would classify as a real friendship. Is you actually enjoying the person's presence. I think nowadays how it is people want you to be friends with someone, but they want you to deal with that person's problems all the time. And I also learned over time, the older I got, the more you would meet people who classify themselves as your friends, but they're just full of hella drama for no reason. Like I had one female friend. She was cool, gave me rides and stuff. It was like a vibe from that point. But then she would like 70% of the time sit there and start arguments with me and start drama with me, and I'd be talking and she'll try to correct everything I'm saying. I'm like, bro, like, can't you just chill? Like, what happened to just chilling? What happened to people who knew how to chill instead of draining your energy all the damn time, bro? And it's the same thing with like with white guys. I stopped hanging out with a lot of white guys because they always would constantly try to correct you and literally try to act like they're smarter than you all the damn time. And then they would do this thing where it's like they know that you're about to say something, so they'll hurry up and say it before you can. And it's so freaking draining. It's like, bro, like, why are you trying so hard to be smarter than me in a conversation? This is not a dick measuring competition. Like, you're supposed to just be vibing, having a conversation. And like over time, I kept meeting the same type of people. They're either trying to correct you in a conversation, they're trying to beat you in a debate that they started with you, but it's really like a debate they're having with themselves, or it's like they just like literally just have bad energy. They talking about how sad and depressed they are and how horrible life is. And it's like over time I kept meeting people like this over and over again. And that's when I realized how real it is, when people talk about having energy vampires, people who just drain your energy. And there's also a lot of people I would meet where I would hang out with them, and I knew that was the last time I would hang out with this motherfucker, because I just would observe what they're doing. And I would see, okay, this person's energy is fake, it's off, I don't trust it. Like, I was hanging out with one of my friends one time, and I was hanging out with his friend. And his friend was kind of cool, you know, he liked anime and stuff like that. But, like, he did this weird thing. We were having, like, this deep philosophical, like, conversation. But he did, like, this weird kind of thing where he kind of, like, grabbed my shirt and was like, he said something. What the hell did he say, bro? He said something, and it was just like, I just felt weird because I was like, why did this nigga just randomly grab my shirt? Like, why does this nigga feel comfortable to like do this shit? And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't understand boundaries, and you have to like tell them about boundaries because they'll think you're like outgoing. Like, the thing that I've had is people think I'm multiple different people depending on who I'm hanging out with. So it's like sometimes people think I'm like cool and outgoing. So they feel like they can be kind of rude, and I'm not going to make it a big deal. I'm not going to say nothing. And in most cases, I won't if I feel like it wasn't that big of a deal. But if I see that they did it multiple times, it can become draining and exhausting. You know what I'm saying? It's like over time, it's like, okay, bro, do you have to have like a serious ass attitude like all the time, or do you need to try to test me all the time? I will eventually be like, look, like you are doing too much and this is draining my energy. I do that sometimes. But it's like I'll realize that most people don't understand social cues, mostly because they only hang out with like, you know, their significant other or whatever. They might not have friends as well. But see, even when I don't have friends, I still understand social cues. I understand, okay, don't do this, don't do this, you know, leave people's personal space alone, stuff like that. Like, I understand that type of shit. But people who don't have respect for social cues, I realize I don't be wanting to hang out with them at all. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm not about to drain my energy trying to understand your point of view. And some people will just say that shit so they're allowed to kind of do whatever they want. And they'll say that like, oh, I don't know social cues. Some of them are just saying that because it's like, okay, I gave you an excuse on why I'm being kind of a dickhead and why I keep cutting you off when we're talking and stuff like that. It's like a cover up, you know, because I look at stuff more deeper, and see how people are under the surface. Because people will say shit, but you can't really take people at face value sometimes. Sometimes you got to see that there's like a deeper meaning in what they're saying and why they're doing something. And they're doing something to get a certain thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they want a certain outcome is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, just avoid energy vampires, bro. Like, comment, subscribe, follow your boy.